Hello guys and welcome to Bacalar, the lagoon of 7 colors, but as you can see, it's many more than 7. The Bacalar Lagoon is located along the Mexican Riviera Maya, close to the Belizean border. I made it to Bacalar from Belize City, but not without bumps in the road. I had to wait at the ferry port for my shuttle for 3 hours. I would recommend booking with these guys instead of wasting your time like I did. I ended up being the only one on the shuttle and was taken to the Belizean border where I had to pay the $20 exit fee. And when I got to the Mexican border, I had to pay an entry fee and fill in an immigration form. They really were not friendly at all. I then had to transfer into a taxi that finally dropped me off at my hostel. I stayed at Chibalba Hostel around the corner from the bus station because it was the best value for money hostel with an amazing breakfast included. Popular hostels Yak Lake House and Shea cost about $40 per night and serve no breakfast. In the evening, I had to go get my first Mexican tacos and walked into town, passing beautiful street art. I love this about Mexico. There is a lively main square in Bacalar, including the fortress, street vendors, and an artisan market. I did get the impression that Bacalar is still a lot less touristy than other cities along the Riviera Maya. I had to get my first marquesita, but unfortunately it wasn't a good one. The next day I discovered Mr. Taco on the main square, which is the place to be. I also had a horchata popsicle. Today we are exploring the best of what the lagoon and the surrounding area has to offer. I rented a bike yesterday to go to Los Rapidos and Cenote Azul. I would not recommend it and I will show you exactly why. The guy at the hostel who told me everything would be flat is a big fat liar. I'm dead. And Google Maps says it's still half an hour to go, but it should be on the freeway now. I'm not sure how this bike made it to Los Rapidos, but it did. Los Rapidos is located to the south of the city and is the narrowest part of the Bacalar Lagoon. This makes it look more like rapids of a river. I later learned that the locals visit the rapids at Laguna Bonanza, the next stop off the highway, which charges only 80 pesos instead of 250, and you can kayak and swim to the start of Los Rapidos and bring your own food and drinks, etc. You must really try to swim in the middle of the canal because what you see, the white rocks here along the side, are stromatolites or estromatolitos. And basically, this one-cell organism is doing some photosynthesis. It is using carbon dioxide from the air to create these stones, kind of like a coral. It is super fascinating. It is one of the only places in the world where this exists. You have to be very careful with them and try not to touch them. I really love all these little mangrove trees. They are so cute. You can see lots of birds on them as well. You are really in the middle of nature. I love this so much. I've reached the end of the path. I first went in at the restaurant, but that's the end point, so don't go in there. And now we're just gonna float. First, make it into the bigger canal, trying not to touch any of the stromatolites. Off we go! Alright, that is it. I have floated down Los Rapidos a few times. You can go as many times as you want. And now I just grabbed my stuff and I was getting ready to leave. And the restaurant here is just absolutely awful. Because I just came to like put some sunscreen on my face, put my clothes on, and they are literally chasing me away because this is a table for 6 when all the other tables are still free. And also you need to consume a minimum of 200 pesos or something, like need to pay for Wi-Fi. It's just like one big joke, this place. It was cool though, but on to the next place. I need to find my courage back on the bike. I got back on the bike and arrived at Cenote Azul. This is another great place to hang out and go for a swim. Entrance here is only 25 pesos and I decided I would go for a much needed refuel. The Cenote Cocalitos, where I wanted to hang out, is closed on a Monday, so I couldn't go there. So now I have come to one of the public piers, which has even a swimming pool here. Parked the bike. I'm almost there, guys. I'm almost back home. Oh my goodness. This renting a bike was not my brightest idea. However, we've saved money and we've survived. Let's go check out these beautiful piers. After a short, windy break here, I passed by the ice cream shop on my way back to my beautiful hostel. I eventually ended the day at Mr. Taco again. Today we are going on a boat to see all the other cenotes and just the most beautiful spots along the lake that I haven't seen yet yesterday. Alright, so yesterday we went to Cenote Azul and today we are taking a boat and going to Cenote Negro, Cenote Esmeralda, Cocalitos, the Bird Island and even Pirate Canal. So we are going to be seeing all of the lake and all its 7 colors. Let's go! My hostel ordered me a taxi to go to Casa China, the starting point of my sailboat tour. This place is located on Cenote Esmeralda, so right away we saw the lake at its best. Aside from me, there was another couple joining the tour, which almost made it feel like a private adventure. Our guide started off by telling us all about the lagoon and how the cenotes were formed, creating these so-called 7 shades of blue. We then set sail to the Pirates Canal, passing by the Bird Island. When swimming in the lagoon and the rapids, they highly discourage you of wearing sunscreen because it could harm the ecosystem, and if certain algae were to start living in these waters, they could turn the beautiful shades of blue into shades of green, which is not what we want, so be respectful and follow the tour guidelines. Right, excuse the windy audio. I'm trying to cover it up by my hand, but I didn't want to bring my big camera into the water with me. We have made it to the Pirates Canal. As you can see behind me, there's a little structure there, and this is the canal that connects this lagoon to the next. The Mayas used this in order to be able to do trade with the neighboring villages. And eventually, apparently one of the pirates followed one of the Mayans that were coming back to Bacalar. And that is how they discovered this place. And eventually the Spaniards built a fortress in the city to protect themselves from the pirates. In British Honduras, which is now Belize, there were lots of English, etc. Staying there, and they came here to kind of rob the Spaniards, kill the men, grab the wives. So yeah, this place has a lot of pirate history. That is why this canal has this name. You can see that we can walk quite far up to the mangroves, but the mangroves are protected. So you can see the signs right there that show you or indicate where you can go. Back on the boat, we got some more refreshments. Aside from pineapple and watermelon juices, they also had coronitas. These were all included in the tour. And we even got a healthy snack. This was so good. Our next stop was Cenote Negro or Cenote de la Bruja. It is no longer possible to swim here as some fatal accidents have occurred in the past. Once again, you can clearly see where the depth goes from 1.5 meters to about 100 meters. After a quick visit, we set sail towards Bird Island, also called Isla de los Pájaros. Popular temporary visitors are the storks and many other bird species. Once again, we lowered the anchor on the sandbank that connects these islands, but at a respectful distance, of course. We could go for a swim and take in the amazing surroundings one last time before returning to the city for some more fish tacos. Good morning, guys. Last night was my last night in Bacalar. After having visited Calakmul during the day, I'll probably make a separate video all about all the archaeological sites that I visited and showing you around Calakmul. However, we made it back. I spent my last night at Magic Bacalar, which is a hostel that is located along the water, so I really wanted to experience a sunrise on the lagoon. So that's why I stayed there. It was decent. They did have AC, although it only went on at 11 and they switched it off at 7:30. And there was only one other person in my bedroom, so I thought I lucked out, but there was also a giant scorpion with me. I couldn't catch it, it just disappeared, but yeah, I'm still alive. I would, however, highly recommend watching the sunrise over the lake. Magic Bacalar did have a great pier to do so, but there is a public pier to the right, and also the eco park is right next to it. So you could also go to these public places to enjoy the sunrise whilst watching and listening to the birds. My sunrise was obstructed by the clouds, but nonetheless worth it, before grabbing my free toast and coffee at 8 o'clock. Even though I enjoyed that first breakfast with a view, I headed to Madre Masa to see what the fuss was about. I ended up having to take away a cinnamon bun so that I could catch my bus to Tulum, and oh my goodness, it was indeed the best cinnamon bun I've had in my life. That is it for this video. I hope you liked it. Then definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the next videos. So I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!